What's up, y'all? It's Life at Space with Visionary Rose. Grace and love to everyone. Listen, I'm going to be talking and coming out of this little book on today. So this book is called Promises from God for Colored Women. I got this book my freshman year, and I just been putting a little notes and stuff in here trying to, apply it to my life. Baby, this book is, whew. I got these little sticky notes all right here. I said, God, come now. God, come now. But listen, let me tell y'all something. Okay, when I opened this book up, y'all, came onto this, Omanisi. Let me just tell y'all how good God is and how he worked out, okay? Because the week before last, on June 28th and June 29th, I was praying to God about something. I was just like, all around, I was like, Lord, like, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. That was just a prayer all around, like, Lord, help me. June 28th and June 29th. And June 30th is when I had got my confirmation. And there was a video that I had watched, and the girl was saying in her video, help is on the way. And it's so crazy because June 28th, June 29th, I was just praying about that. So I was like, Lord, help me, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. And then June 30th, that confirmation came in. And so in her video, she had said, I want you guys to read Psalms 139. So when I went to Psalms 139, she said verse 16 stuck out to her. Verse 1 stuck out to me. Let me read y'all verse 1. Okay, listen, I'm out the King James Version too now. Now, Psalms 139, God's omnipresence and God's omanisi. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Before we continue, omanisi means knowing, means all knowing. God knows everything, including the past and the future. Omnipresence means God is everywhere at the same time. Baby, them definitions stuck out to me. You mean to tell me God know my past and my future? He already knows everything. He know me. Like, he know my thinking. He know what I'm going to do tomorrow. He know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. He knows. Like, you mean to tell me God know all that? Like, God knows all that. But all around, I just want to let y'all know, like, our destiny helpers, we want help. Like, it's coming. Like, it's on the way. Like, if you've been like, Life Expects, like, I don't know. I need help. Like, I need some help. Like, it's coming, baby. It's coming. Baby, it's coming. It's coming. And when I opened this up, I was like, oh, Manisi, I said, God, you're still working. But today, we're going to talk about self-confidence on today, okay? And I'm going to be reading this this thing out of here. This is for Promises from God for women of color. And I got this book at Walmart. I don't know if it's still around at Walmart, but you can look it up. This is what the back of it looks like if you guys want to go get it. This book was $9.99, but no, it was on sale. It was on sale. So this book was like real cheap. But we're going to start off with self-confidence. I just had to share that with y'all because I feel like, there's times where we feel like, help is not coming, or we're looking for help, and we're looking for, destiny helpers and stuff like that to help us out. And I told y'all in my video, the week before last, what destiny helpers are. And destiny helpers are people that come into your life and they help you out, and they help you. We know your destiny is like your end goal and something that you're trying to achieve to. So anything that you're trying to achieve in life that's positive, God is sending people that will help us. And sometimes there are people already that are around us that wants to help us and wants to genuinely help us, but we have to be open to that. So that's why today we're going to talk about self-confidence, because self-confidence is going to help us open up to being, receivable, if that's a word, receivable of that help. Okay. So self-confidence, I'm going to just read this little thing. And it says, as we come to know fully who we are as women of color, we will be better able to engage in relationships more intimately than ever before. There's strength that comes from knowing who you are in God that removes the fear of relationships. It allows you to be authentically who you are and to be honest with those whom God allows into your life. See what I'm saying? Got to be open. That's crazy, because I ain't even read this yet, y'all. I ain't even read the self-confidence yet. I didn't read this yet, but that's what they're saying. But follow with me. But as our relationship with God becomes more intimate, the more willing we should be able to risk revealing ourselves to others and to trust God for the outcome of those interactions. Our relationship with God will determine our relationship with others. Jeez, got a little convicted with that one. Okay. But self-confidence on today, it's a few scriptures that they have, and then it's like a little quote that they put, and it says, I've made mistakes, we all do, but I don't believe that you have to have done it before to it well. You only have to be smart and talented to do it well. I don't agree with that last part. You got to be smart and talented, cause baby, there's some dumb folks out here, baby. And honey, yeah. Oh my God. But self-confidence. Listen. Okay, let's just go back to where it says, but as our relationship with God becomes more intimate, the more willing we should be able to risk revealing ourselves to others and to trust God for the outcome of those interactions. So you got to have that self-confidence. You got to have that self-confidence when you're meeting new people. And sometimes it can kind of, sometimes that's why it's important to heal from like our past hurt. It's important to heal from my past hurt, because we don't want to take that, all of that old and that, you know, that grudge, that hatred, or that hurt that we had in our past. We don't want to take it into what God really wants to, you know, bring into our lives. And there are people in our lives that, you know, that sometimes we push away because of what has happened. And you may felt like at some point in your life where you have pushed the wrong people away. There's people in my life that I pushed the wrong people away because of my own insecurities, because of my own hurt, or because of my own past experience that I had. But as I'm learning and trying to, you know, understand that God wants to bring in people, but in order for him to bring in those people, I have to, you know, decide within myself, okay, Angel, are you going to, you know, let this go? Are you going to, you know, let this hurt go? Are you going to, you know, let this lack of insecurity, or of you feeling like, you know, that everybody that comes into your life is going to hurt you? Like, God is looking at it like that. Like, he wants to send people, but in order for him to send people, in order for him to, you know, to release all of that stuff out, sometimes he's really waiting on us to do that. But in order for him to do that, we have to be willing to put in the work. We have to be willing to decide within ourselves, are we going to have that self-confidence? Are we going to believe into ourselves that every person that comes our way is not going to hurt us? Every person that comes our way is not going to, you know, leave our lives. Like, we just have to be confident in that. And that's not to say to, you know, every person that comes your way, you know, you be open to it. But that's where that discernment comes into, where you ask God, okay, God, reveal things to me, you know, reveal this stuff to me. And my sister said something to me today. She was like, honey, when you with God, you ain't gonna, God is never going to, let you go without, you know, knowing anything. Like, he's going to reveal things to you. You ever pray, you know, like, ask God, you ask God, Lord, remove and redirect me. I know that's always one of my prayers. Lord, God, remove and redirect me, you know, reveal to me this, or, you know, remove things that's around me that's not like you, or remove things that's inside of me that's not like you. And that self-confidence, and it's deeper than within, like, you know, your relationships and friendships and stuff like that. You know, you want to have self-confidence when you come out of a bad relationship. When you're coming out of a bad relationship, you want to have that self-confidence that, you know, that God is going to send you somebody that loves you, that cherishes you, that's going to be open with you, honest with you, trustworthy with you. You got to have that self-confidence, because once you leave out a bad relationship, it can kind of do a big toll on you. Or once you leave out a bad friendship, or even just a bad situation, or just life in general, you know, sometimes we just lose our self-confidence because of the past, because of our hurt. But we got to let that stuff go. We got to let it, we just got to let it go. And letting it go doesn't mean like we just gonna like forget about it and, you know, just be like, well, no, I ain't really hurt by it. Like this, you know, it's okay to be hurt by a situation, but heal properly throughout it, because you don't want to deter your self-confidence. Because when you ain't got that self-confidence, that's gonna turn into, you know, insecurities and stuff like that. And then once you have those insecurities, now you're gonna be projecting, and you're gonna be deflecting onto projecting and deflecting onto other people. And you don't want to do that, because what if you are doing it to somebody that God has sent to into your life? What if you are projecting to your destiny helper? What if you are projecting onto your destiny helper that God sent to you, because you didn't have this self-confidence? Like, you didn't believe that, you know, that God was going to send you somebody that wasn't going to hurt you. God was going to send you some friends that was going to cherish you, that was going to love you for you. You know, you gotta, it's all about, you know, like, I know it's hard, y'all. I know it's hard. But take the time to like really, really, take time to yourself. Like when I was dealing with my hurt and stuff like that, like I took a lot of time to myself to really figure out who I was, because in the process I lost myself. And never again I want to lose myself in the process again. That's why once when something, tragic happens, or when a relationship or a friendship or a situation don't go the way that you want to go to, understand that number one, rejection is protection. I'm gonna say that again. Rejection is protection. There's a strength that comes from knowing who you are in God that removes the fear of relationships. That's so crazy, because we got to know who we are in God. Like, we got to look at ourselves like how God look at us, because people can look at us and, have so many different types of, opinions and so much to say, but it doesn't matter like what they say, because it's all about how God views us. It's all about, what God thinks of us, what he wants from us, not what other people want from us, not what your mom or your dad, your sister, your brother, cousin. It's not about what they want. Yeah, they may want, good things for you and stuff like that. Sometimes they may want bad things for you, but either way, whatever they want for you, you still have to keep the main focus on really what God wants from you, because there is strength in knowing who you are in God that removes the fear of the relationship, that moves fear of the relationship. So, am I getting a white mouth? So when, so when you know who you are in God, you won't have to be like, oh, I don't think like this person is, gonna like me, or I don't think that I'm fit for this job, or I don't think that I'm, gonna get this, or I don't think this is gonna happen. Because now you just like, number one, you just like lacking everything that you think God can't do. And then you don't even got the confidence to believe that he can do it, or you don't got the confidence to believe that you won't have to have fear in your relationships. Because let me tell you something. When you meet new people and you start to think about your past, you'll start to notice how like that person will start doing, things from the person of your past. And you'll be like, huh? Like, you cannot look at people and think like, oh, he just like my ex, or oh, he or she is just like my last friend that hurt me. Because everybody is not the same. Everybody on this earth doesn't want to hurt people. There are some real genuine people out there. There are some real good people out there, but it's up to us to have that self-confidence to believe that God is going to, he's going to cover us. He's going to cover us. And even if the new friends do hurt you, because sometimes you got to go through. Like, you got to go through. My pastor said one time before, we're not going through, but we're going to. It may feel like you're going through, but really you're going to. And in that moment when he was saying it, I was just like, man, like, honey, I'm going through. I was like, honey, I'm going through. I don't know about going to, but I know I'm going through at the moment right now. But as time, progressed and stuff like that, I was like, wow, I'm not going through. I'm actually going to. I'm going to. But that self-confidence in our relationship with God will determine our relationship with others. So the relationship that we have from God, and everybody's relationship with God is very different. There are some people who's just now getting into Christ. There are some people who've been in Christ for a long time. There's some people who, been with God, and it'll show, like, that love that you pray and ask God for. You got to ask God to help you reflect that onto others. Because like I said, like, your past experience, like, God already knows like what you've been through. He already knows your hurt and all of that stuff, but he don't want you to sit in it. He don't want you to marinate in it. He don't want you to dwell in it. He don't want you to do none of that stuff. He wants you to come to him, get the healing that you need, get the understanding, get the wisdom. And sometimes you may not know what happened, but it ain't even about that, because life too short to figure out who left, why they left, when they left, who they left. It's too short for that. Right now, you got to build up your self-confidence. You got to build up your self-confidence, so that when you want that new friendship to come in, when you want a new relationship, some of y'all want husbands. So you got to have that self-confidence to believe that you are going to be that great woman for your great king that God is going to bring you. Like, you got to have that self-confidence. But if God sees that you don't even got that self-confidence, if he bringing somebody in, because sometimes God will bring in people just to see how you gonna treat them. And there are some people that will come into your life, and it's up to you to decide, not that you have to, tell your business to these people, but play it smart. You got to play it smart. You always got to play it smart. My mom always told me, just listen to a person. Anytime a person always asking you questions about your business, but they don't never want to tell theirs, don't tell them nothing. Don't tell them nothing, because 9 times out of 10, let me tell y'all something, 9 times out of 10, they going through hell, but it makes them, I don't know what these people sick. Oh, it just makes people so excited, when they can get information about somebody else's life, and they, hype over that, or they dwell on that, or talk about that, because it takes away from what they're actually going through. Know that it takes away from what they're actually going through. So when they're sitting around talking about what other people are going through, and what other people's finances are looking like, or what people drive, or how they doing in their life, or where they at in their life, when they're sitting around focusing on stuff like that, they're miserable in their life. And so they have to talk about other people to take away from the hill that's going on in their life. And they don't got that self-confidence, because if they had that self-confidence, they wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be doing that. Confident people don't do that. Confident people, let me tell you something. Confident people don't gotta down talk the next person to uplift themselves. See, growing up, there was it was people in my life growing up, and I've watched them. See, I was the child where they was always like, you smelling yourself, you think you grown. Nah, baby, I'm watching you. I got my eyes on you. I know what you're doing. And there was people in my life growing up, and I watched them, boast and brag about, the material things that they had. And as time progressed and I started to see, I was like, wow, you had all of this material stuff. You had all of these nice things. You had all of these nice cars, but you were still missing the key in life. You were still miserable. You didn't have that love. You didn't have that joy. You didn't have that peace. That material stuff made you happy. You had to talk down on other people to uplift yourselves. And anytime people do that, they talk down on you. And people can talk down on you in the smallest way. Like, you can tell them, people can talk down on you about the car that you drive. It's people can look at you and think, because you're dressed in like sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt, that you don't have money. But come to find out, some of the richest people, you would never know that they're rich if they don't say anything about it. Because I could be in sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt, and you wouldn't even know that I'm rich. Now, I ain't rich now, but I'm gonna be rich one day in Jesus' name. But you people can look and they'll be like, oh, they ain't got money, or oh, they this, they that. But see, it was crazy, because these same people said this same stuff, said this same stuff about me and my family. And I just watched God, like, sometimes the table turn, baby. Sometimes the table be like turning like that. It just turn. It turns. It turns. And see, God get the glory out of everything. And so I just want to share that as a little example, like just a little story. But they didn't have that self-confidence. They didn't have that love. They didn't have that true love. They were very manipulative. Like, it was just like, yo, like, what's going on with y'all? Like, y'all need help. But they didn't have that self-confidence. So you don't want to be like people who, downplay other people just to uplift themselves, to make themselves feel good inside, just to make themselves, feel superior than others, or to make themselves feel important. Because let me tell you something, you can have all the materialistic stuff in the world and still go home and cry in your pillowcase at night. I'm going to say that again. You can have all the material stuff in the world. You can have all the money in the world, the nice cars and stuff like that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to have material stuff. It's nothing wrong with having money. It's nothing wrong with, wanting the nice things, wanting the luxury things. It's nothing wrong with that. But it's a problem when you have all of that stuff and you still don't know who you are inside. You still don't have that self-confidence. You still don't have that love. You got all of this stuff, but you looking at somebody that got less than you, and you talking down on them. Or you jealous of that person that got less of you. It really be the people that got more that be jealous of the people that got less. It really be the people that got more than you that be jealous of the people that got less. So you don't want anything to stop you away from having like this self-confidence. You don't want nothing to stop you away from believing into who you are. Trust in God with everything, like, and when you don't have that self-confidence, because I know there's times when I wake up in the morning and, sometimes I look at my, I'm just like, I ain't feeling myself. I just look ugly today. Like what's going on? Like, I'm tired of my hair being like this. I don't like this. I don't like that. Then, I just feel like, okay, like, take a breather, because let me tell you something, baby. Psalms 139, baby. Verse 14, honey, it says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Honey, it's right here. If you don't believe me, baby, just watch, okay? I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. You gotta believe it. Like, you really do. Like, you gotta believe it. Like, you're fearfully, you're wonderfully made. Like, anything that God created is a beautiful thing. Don't let nobody deter you from your image or deter you from who you are. Don't let this past stuff, affect you. Because let me tell you something. There are people that have hurt you from your past. They done moved on with their life, baby. And if you still sitting around, being upset about that, you gotta let that stuff go. Because they have moved on. There are people that come into your life to hurt you, help you, and heal you. There are people to come into your life that will hurt you, help you, and heal you. Those 3 H's: hurt you, help you, and heal you. And see, if you're gonna stay stuck on the person that come into your life to hurt you, because let me tell you something. See, everything that I've been through, all the pain and stuff like that, I'm glad I went through it. Because let me tell you something. One thing about pain brings wisdom. Pain brings wisdom. I don't care what nobody say. Pain gonna bring some wisdom, because those experience, all of that stuff that you experience and everything. And see, people thought, when they hurt you, they thought, okay, I left her right there where she at, and let me come back and see if she's still hurt. Let me come back and see if he's still hurt. Nah, baby, you're never gonna find me in the same spot that you left me. They're never gonna find you in the same spot that they left you. Why? Because you got that self-confidence. You've been watching Life Aspects with Visionary Rose. She gonna get you right. Period. I love you guys, and it's Life Aspects with Visionary Rose. Grace and love to you all. Stay humble and keep that self-confidence. I love you guys, and thank y'all for rocking as always.